Zion, I don't think the Pels trade him, but Damian Lillard has officially requested a trade, and guess who's shopping around? The Pelicans. There apparently have
Mm.
been some calls that have been made. Do we see a CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard reunion, Tyler, down in NOLA?
We definitely could. I think that the Pelicans, if they want to win now, this would definitely complete the puzzle. But it
Oh,
would either have
sure.
to take either Brandon Ingram or Zion. And if I have to choose, I honestly would ship off Zion. I know it's crazy
I
as
agree
that
with you.
sounds, but have you seen Brandon Ingram? And he's one of the best. He just reminds me so much of Kevin Durant. With his mentality,
Right.
his shooting ability in the paint, especially. So as I just think that the Pelicans have just almost reached a point that they're just sick of dealing with Zion. I feel like year
Well,
after
the
year,
longer
like in the preseason, like, oh, this is finally going to be the year. The Pelicans going into this season, at the start of the season, they were first in the Western Conference standings, and everyone's like, okay, this team is definitely going to be, a challenge. And then Zion gets hurt in January again. And then the Pelicans, what happens? They pretty much, fight their way into the play-in game, and then they ultimately lose to the Thunder. And
right.
then they get the 14th pick in the NFL draft. I'm not the NFL draft. We've been talking so
The
much about the
NFL
NFL, the
draft. There we
NBA
go.
draft, which they did have a good pick with Jordan Hawkins. He's definitely going to be an elite shooter for them.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much. They're just going to get probably, Trey Murphy, a Zion package, something like that, or a couple of first-round picks. It's definitely going to be a haul to get, a player like Damian Lillard. He's one of the best shooters of all time. It's Dame time. He's always clutch, especially when his team gets into the playoffs. So I think that the Pelicans, all the teams like the Clippers, Timberwolves, Celtics, and Pelicans, I just don't. I definitely think they have the young talent in the package that the Portland Trailblazers are going to look for. I saw today that Brian Windhorst of ESPN that he said that the Heat don't even have a package that Portland wants. So that's definitely surprising. I thought that the
Right.
Miami Heat would have been on the phone call first. So if that eliminates Miami, then who knows at this point? I mean, it's definitely going to take a haul, though.
Well, if it eliminates Miami, I think the other two teams were, or the other three teams were Clippers, Timberwolves,
Yeah.
Pelicans. Clippers would be interesting to see.
Clippers,
Uh,
they're trying to get James Harden. There's some rumors
right.
circling around there that he could join forces with PG and Kawhi.
I think that would probably be the best move
Yeah.
for
It'd
James.
be a cheaper move.
Definitely. Timberwolves, of course, they just extended Anthony Edwards' contract. Celtics was another name. They lost Marcus Smart. He was traded.
I just don't know if they
Um,
have a package. I
right.
just
I
feel
don't
like
know
out
who
of all
you.
those four teams, the Pelicans have like the young talent in the core that
Right.
really flashes like, ooh, that's like the most that the most that they can get
And
because the
you got to think.
Blazers, are pretty much in tank mode at this point. If they're getting rid,
You got to think
they want
Portland's in the
something to
rebuild.
yeah, and they're going to want a lot of draft capital. They want a lot of first round draft picks. That way they can get some more young talent because after they get rid of Damian Lillard, that's going to be a team that's going to be rotten, probably going to be in the lottery until they get the core that they really want to.
Right. I mean, I'd love to see Dame time and Zion on the court at the same time,
It's
but
just not.
I don't imagine a world where the Pelicans can get Damian Lillard and keep both Brandon Ingram
Yeah,
and
one of them's going
Zion
to have to go.
Williamson. And I think the longer you hold on to Zion, I mean his what am I trying to say here? His value goes down, right?
Yeah.
And so I think if they're interested in him, you got to send them. You know, that could be the biggest mistake in New Orleans Pelicans history,
Or if he
but
gets hurt every year like he's been, then that's a steal.
it's a gamble you got to take. And I'm glad I am not the GM.